Hey everyone, Anusha here again, and basically today I wanted to make a video on how I studied bio for the 2 years that I was preparing for NEET, which is like basically 11th and 12th, how I did bio. And I scored 340 out of 360 in NEET 2025 in bio, and I had an overall score of 610 out of 720 and an all India rank of 790. So basically I just wanted to make this video to just discuss and provide tips on how you can like probably improve your bio score and not make the same mistakes I made during my 11th and 12th. So let's start from the very beginning, right? We'll start from 11th. So 11th में I had just joined coaching, right? 10th से बहुत बड़ा shift आया था, right? क्योंकि coaching join की थी, so I didn't go for coaching in 10th. So I had just joined coaching in 11th, right? So basically what happened was कि I was like any new fresher in 11th would be very confused. Even I was very confused. Like I didn't know what to do, what resources to follow, and like how much am I supposed to read bio? Should I even give that much bhav to bio? Like I had no idea what to do. So I did what any other person would do. I just basically read my modules, and I used to read them a lot because it was like the first couple months of 11th and I was like very excited to study for NEET. So I like read my modules very thoroughly, and I used to do the module wale questions also, all of them. I did them like 2 times, 3 times. I used to do all of them. And yeah, I basically used to attend my classes, and I used to read only modules. So you might find it shocking that I never read NCERT till like the first 3-4 months of 11th because I thought it was not required. Very shocking. But yeah, I was of the opinion that if I'm reading module तो it will be enough, क्योंकि मॉड्यूल में सब कुछ होता है जो भी एनसीईआरटी में होता है, तो फिर एनसीईआरटी पढ़ने की ज़रूरत ही क्या है, मॉड्यूल ही पढ़ के जाते हैं. एंड मॉड्यूल में वैसे भी एक्स्ट्रा स्टफ होता है, तो आई विल बी लाइक बेटर देन पीपल हु रीड एनसीईआरटी, राइट? दैट वाज माय थॉट प्रोसेस व्हेन आई जस्ट एंटर्ड 11th. आई वाज लाइक कि ठीक है, एनसीईआरटी नहीं पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है. बट फिर हो क्या रहा था कि मेरे बायो में मार्क्स इतने अच्छे नहीं आ रहे थे, ठीक है. लाइक ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अराउंड 300 टाइप्स आते थे बायो में, ठीक है, बॉटनी एंड zoology को मिला के. सो आई वॉज लाइक आई वॉजंट एबल टू रियली अंडरस्टैंड कि मतलब मैं गलत कर क्या रही हूँ यहाँ पे, राइट? लाइक व्हाट शुड आई डू, व्हाट शुड आई चेंज इन माई स्ट्रैटेजी, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से तो मॉड्यूल पढ़ना वॉज द बेस्ट थिंग, राइट? एंड yeah, I mean, obviously I used to follow notes, but it was like I was following module more than I was following my notes, okay? So what I ended up realizing after analyzing my tests and after seeing कि मतलब आई नोटिस कि जो मेरे क्वेश्चंस हैं जहाँ पे मैं गलत कर रही हूँ, राइट, दे वर मोस्टली स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस एंड असर्शन रीजन क्वेश्चन. असर्शन रीजन में हमेशा मेरी गलती होती थी. लाइक इफ इट वाज लाइक galat explanation, I would always mark it as the correct explanation. If it was the correct explanation, I would always mark it as the wrong explanation. So I was like doing that a lot in my tests, and I couldn't really understand why. But later I realized it's because I'm not reading NCERT, right? The number one biggest mistake, the number one self-sabotage thing you could do for your bio preparation is not reading NCERT, not making NCERT your prime source for bio. That's like the biggest blunder you can do. So I made that blunder. I didn't read NCERT because I thought NCERT की ज़रूरत नहीं है, right? I used to get less marks, and I used to get assertion reason wrong. I used to get statement based questions wrong, and then I decided कि चलो मैं देखती हूँ कि ये क्वेश्चन मतलब assertion reason बना कहाँ से, क्योंकि मॉडल में तो मुझे दिख नहीं रहा था कि कहाँ से मतलब कनेक्ट किया डॉट्स, कहाँ से एक्सप्लेनेशन है. एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर इट वाज लाइक एनिमल किंगडम वाला चैप्टर, एंड there's this very famous assertion reason that all chordates वाला जो assertion reason होता है. I'm not able to like recall the entire thing, but there's this chordates vertebrates and chordates वाला assertion reason है. So I had got that wrong, and that's when I opened my NCERT and I saw कि उस paragraph में like properly दोनों statements को relate करके लिखा है, and that's how it's like a correct explanation. But so I realized that then, and from that time I just started blindly following NCERT. I did read my module, but I definitely started giving more preference to NCERT over my module, ठीक है. And yeah, so basically I remember कि I had started reading my NCERT, and the next test after I started reading my NCERT, I got full in botany for the first time ever. And I would literally say ki read NCERT. A lot of people, they read NCERT, but they give a little more importance to the module. I did that. Don't do it. Okay, make NCERT like the only source material thing you need. It was my only source for bio. And then you might have like the question key, what if they ask out of NCERT wale questions? Valid, they did this time also. And it's basically, if you read NCERT and you also attend your classes, right? So in your classes you definitely would be learning new concepts, and the questions that come in NEET are from those concepts. They're not going to ask you some random concept, right? The question will be revolving around the concept. So read NCERT and like attend your teachers' classes, attend your revise your notes, right? Notes and NCERT is literally all that you need to like even get 350 plus, if not 360 in bio, right? That's literally what I would recommend. And yeah, so up until now, like for the first 6 months, I would say I was basically just doing this key, attend the classes, make the notes, and I would basically read NCERT, but I was also reading module, okay? So then I would practice module ke questions and PYQs. That's all I did for the first 6 months in 11th, okay? And अब वो time आ गया था, like it was like the latter half of 11th when we were starting to do plant physiology. Okay, now plant physiology is like difficult for a lot of people, and it was especially difficult for me. Okay, so why it was difficult was because when I was reading NCERT, I wasn't really able to understand anything that was written in NCERT. I wasn't able to like connect the dots. Like I was able to see कि अच्छा ये लिखा है, but I was not able to understand कि ये चल क्या रहा है पूरा. I wasn't able to see like the bigger picture of it. So I tried to understand through my classes, like whatever classes we used to have. I tried to understand, but it just got really jumbled up for me because I mean, some teachers do this and like they just focus more on teaching out of NCERT stuff rather than teaching what's in NCERT, and I kind of faced that. So I was like, this is getting too extra now, right? First of all, I'm not understanding what's in NCERT, so what's the point of like learning stuff that's not even related anything to NCERT? So yeah, that time I was like of that mindset. So what I decided to do was take matters into my own hands, and I came home. I really tried to understand, but I couldn't understand. So what I ended up doing was like I searched on like YouTube for any like one-shot lectures on photosynthesis, respiration, and plant growth and development. And I started watching Ritu Ratiwal ma'am's lectures on YouTube, and they were like chef's kiss. They were so good. They were really good. And yeah, I basically followed my entire plant physiology from there. And zoology, though I did not watch from YouTube in 11th. My teacher was really great, amazing. So I followed entire zoology in 11th from her. And in botany, I basically followed for plant physiology from Ritu Ratiwal ma'am. And yeah, that was basically what I did. And also, so basically by the end of 11th, I had sort of understood ki kya karna hai bio mein. So that's when I actually started to improve my bio, because my bio was still like mid-level in 11th. Towards the end of 11th is only when I started to give a little bit more importance to bio, and also started to improve my bio actually, because I could see it in my scores. So what I started doing was ki I used to attend, like I used to see the lectures, see the, if not the video lectures, I would like attend the classes and stuff. Okay. And uske baad I would see my module. I would definitely go through my module, but I would not go through as thoroughly to my module as I would through NCERT. I would just like skim through the module. ठीक है, बिकॉज वो जो एलन के जो टेस्ट होते हैं उसमें कभी कभार मॉड्यूल से वो क्वेश्चन पूछ लेते हैं, राइट? तो इन ऑर्डर टू गेट दैट राइट, आई यूज्ड टू गो थ्रू द मॉड्यूल and then I would solve the module questions, but I would definitely give more importance to the PYQs and the module wale questions. Okay, so this was in 11th, right? The end of 11th when I was basically doing this ki YouTube video या फिर classes, then अपने NCERT पढ़ा 2-3 बार तो कम से कम पढ़ना है, right? Basically when you're in 11th or when you're in 12th, if you have joined a coaching, you will have like chapter wise tests, right? मतलब एक chapter पढ़ा और उसका फिर बायोकेमिस्ट्री फिजिक्स का उस चैप्टर का टेस्ट होता है, राइट? सो बिफोर एवरी चैप्टर टेस्ट आई यूज्ड टू एटलीस्ट रीड NCERT 3 times, मिनिमम तो 3 times था. एंड इफ इट वाज स्पेशली डिफिकल्ट देन आई वुड रीड इट इवन मोर. ठीक है, तो इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग लाइक पार्ट सिलेबस टेस्ट एंड यू वांट टू रिवाइज फॉर पार्ट सिलेबस टेस्ट फॉर बायो, देन take your weakest chapter and read that first, or read that chapter which has the most facts which you might forget. Like for example, I remember I used to forget cockroach so much. I used to forget all of the details, all the facts that are in cockroach. So I used to revise that so much during my like revision before any chapter wise tests or part syllabus tests or even full syllabus tests. If I felt like I'm forgetting it, I don't remember, then I would basically just go and revise it. So keep revising those chapters which are your weakest, and also something that's very factual, so higher tendency to forget all of the intricate details in that chapter that might come in the test. So yeah, and also one way to check if you remember a chapter properly is to attempt questions. So if you're able to attempt all the questions and you're getting like 90% right, then you're good with the chapter. But if you're not able to get them right, then obviously you have to revise the chapter. That's how I used to decide ki matlab should I revise the chapter or not. Okay. And yeah, so basically yeah, so that's for 11th. Next is 12th. ठीक है, तो 12th में जैसे कि मैंने अपने प्रीवियस वीडियोस में बताया था कि हमारे जो टीचर्स थे वो बदल गए थे. ठीक है, 11th से 12th में मतलब टीचर्स बदल गए थे. So what I was like, it was basically a little bit difficult for me to cope up with the new teachers. So again, I shifted entire botany and zoology towards Ritu ma'am. ठीक है, I watched her one-shot lectures on YouTube. I watched like microbes wala one-shot. I watched the sexual reproduction wala one-shot, even human reproduction and even reproductive health wala one-shot. I watched all of them, and that was the only classes thing I attended on YouTube wale jo one-shot lectures hain, I watched that. ठीक है, and after reproductive health, actually during the time I was doing reproductive health, I was basically scared about principles wala chapter. ठीक है, principles of inheritance. So I thought I basically I wanted detailed lectures for that. So I went ahead and I got her batch. She had like an app, so I got the 12th wala batch there. And there's not much difference in what she teaches from the batch and on YouTube. Just that in the batch you get like more detailed lectures. That's all. Like if on YouTube there's just like a 5-hour lecture, on her app it'll be like 6 or 7 1-hour wale lectures. That's basically the difference that I felt, but not much difference. Like even if you're doing it from YouTube, it's perfectly fine. I did many chapters from YouTube despite having the batch, because there's not much difference in it. Okay. But the videos are good. Her teaching is absolutely amazing. I love it. Okay. So yeah, basically one thing that I started doing different in 12th is I stopped reading my module. I stopped referring to my module for any like theory and stuff, and I also stopped doing my module wale questions, because to be honest, I didn't really like the module ke questions that much, because majority of the questions that I personally thought, it's my own experience, you may differ, but I thought ki majority of them are one-liners, and I was just getting really sick and tired of one-liners. बिकॉज आई पर्सनली वॉन्टेड क्वेश्चंस जिसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगे पढ़ने में, थोड़ा टाइम लगे उसको सॉल्व करने में, राइट. बिकॉज ऐसा तो नहीं है कि सारे क्वेश्चंस वन लाइनर ही आएंगे एंड बहुत आप फट करके सवाल बना लोगे, राइट. बिकॉज ये हो रहा था कि मतलब जो टेस्ट होते थे हमारे, राइट, उसमें जब मैं बायो में जाती थी तो मैक्स टू मैक्स मुझे 30 मिनट्स लगते थे बायो करने में, या फिर 20 मिनट्स लगते थे. एंड ऑब्वियसली ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है एग्जाम में, राइट, कि आपके बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन आते जा रहे हैं. सो इट वॉज बेसिकली कि आई वॉन्टेड प्रैक्टिस ऑफ little bit more lengthy questions, little bit more गुड लेवल के क्वेश्चंस, ताकि थोड़ा तो बैलेंस रहे प्रेपरेशन में. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप सिर्फ आसान क्वेश्चंस करके जा रहे हो, फिर एग्जाम में तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं हो पाएगा, राइट. सो इट शुड ऑलवेज बी लाइक अ बैलेंस प्रेपरेशन. आसान क्वेश्चंस डेफिनेटली करने चाहिए, बट ऑल्सो यू शुड हैव दैट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ टैकलिंग टफ क्वेश्चंस. दैट्स पर्सनली व्हाट आई फील. ठीक है, तो इसलिए मैंने मॉड्यूल नहीं पढ़ी थी, क्योंकि मुझे जनरली लगता था कि NCERT इज़ इनफ. मैंने सिर्फ NCERT रेफर की थी 12th में, एंड इवन ड्यूरिंग माई रिविजन टाइम. ठीक है, मतलब लाइक अराउंड फेब, मार्च, अप्रैल. ठीक है, वहाँ पे भी मैंने सिर्फ NCERT को रिवाइज़ किया. मैंने मॉड्यूल टच भी नहीं की थी, ना 11th की ना 12th की. ठीक है, ओनली NCERT. ऑलराइट. एंड या सो अगेन, सो अराउंड December I started doing NEET prep के सवाल also. The bio questions in there are pretty good. I solved them because I wasn't solving module ke questions. So apart from PYQs, I needed some other question source. So I got the NEET prep wala target batch jo bhi hota hai, and I basically started solving questions from there. And yeah, they're pretty good. If you want like a different question source, you can definitely try it. It's good. And yeah, so that's basically around December, Jan, like I think Jan mid में मेरा syllabus हो गया था ख़त्म. ठीक है, तो अब बात आती थी मतलब रिविज़न कैसे करना है, राइट, टेस्ट के लिए। तो मैं टेस्ट के लिए रिविज़न कैसे करी थी, मैं अगर कोई टेस्ट आ रहा है जिसमें सपोज़ कोई चैप्टर, लेट्स से एनिमल किंगडम चैप्टर है, ठीक है, तो उस एनिमल किंगडम चैप्टर को पहले तो मैं एनसीईआरटी से पढ़ती थी। एंड एनसीईआरटी से मैं कैसे पढ़ती थी, मैं बोल बोल के पढ़ती थी। जब भी मैं टेक्स्ट पढ़ रही थी तो फिर मैं बोल बोल के पढ़ती थी वो लाइन, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लगता था कि मतलब वो वर्बल मेमोरी भी हो, मतलब सॉरी हियरिंग मेमोरी भी हो बेसिकली, कि आई एम स्पीकिंग द वर्ड, सो there's a more likely chance that I'm going to remember it, it's going to retain in my head a lot for a lot longer. That's basically what I felt. So whenever I was reading the chapter I would go ahead and speak it out loud, ठीक है। And also for notes, ठीक है, one thing was that I did not have like a separate bio notebook. I used to make all of my notes और जो साइड में जो कॉलम्स होते हैं एनसीईआरटी में, I used to write those notes there only. I did not have like a separate notebook except for molecular basis of inheritance and principles of inheritance and variation वाला chapter, ठीक है। So yeah, and so that was one advantage that I saw कि during my revision I was able to, when I was reading NCERT only, I was able to see कि अच्छा ये जो भी notes थे मैंने साइड में लिख लिए थे। So it was very helpful for me during revision, ताकि मुझसे बहुत क्विकली रिविजन हो जाता था। ऐसा नहीं था कि मुझे पहले एनसीईआरटी पढ़नी होगी फिर नोट्स पढ़ने होंगे नोटबुक से, नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे नोट्स साइड में लिखे थे तो फिर मैंने वहीं से जल्दी से पढ़ लिया था। सो इट वाज लाइक क्विक एंड ईजी एंड एफिशिएंट, ठीक है। एंड या एनसीईआरटी पढ़ने के बाद क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस, ठीक है, एंड क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस के बाद पीवाईक्यूज भी एक बार लगा देने चाहिए। दैट्स व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू। क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस अराउंड आई वुड से पर चैप्टर, मतलब कोई लिमिट नहीं है। सी इट अगेन वेरीज फ्रॉम चैप्टर टू चैप्टर। For a chapter like reproductive health, you don't need to practice too many questions because it's a relatively easy chapter. But for a chapter like molecular basis of inheritance, you do need to solve good amount of questions, right? Because it's a conceptual based chapter, anything can come from that chapter. It's important that you solve a lot of questions from it. So it again varies on your understanding of the chapter. If you feel like your understanding is solid, right, then you can go ahead and practice less, or like how many of the questions you want to practice. But if it's a weak chapter, then definitely practice more amount of questions. How I used to check कि whether my chapter is weak or if it's good, I would basically see कि अगर 90% जो सवाल मैं कर रही हूँ वो करेक्ट है, दैट मीन्स वो स्ट्रॉन्ग चैप्टर है, ठीक है। बट अगर उससे कम जा रहा है दैट मीन्स दैट आई नीड टू वर्क ऑन दिस चैप्टर। सो दैट्स व्हाई आई यूज्ड टू चेक कि 90% सवाल सही बन रहे हैं तो फिर ठीक है, बढ़िया, ये चैप्टर अच्छा है, वी कैन मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट चैप्टर। इफ नॉट देन आई वुड प्रोबेबली रिवाइज माई नोट्स, सी विच टॉपिक आई एम हैविंग अ लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्टी, मे बी री-वॉच सम पार्ट ऑफ द लेक्चर दैट आई मे बी आई एम नॉट अंडरस्टूड प्रॉपर्ली, एंड देन आई वुड वंस अगेन कम बैक एंड सॉल्व द क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है। सो दैट्स व्हाट आई डिड। एंड या बट या ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि जो मेन फोकस होना चाहिए वो आपका एनसीईआरटी पे होना चाहिए, ठीक है। रीडिंग एनसीईआरटी, एंड वो भी लाइन टू लाइन पढ़ना चाहिए एनसीईआरटी, ठीक है। मुझे अभी भी याद है जब मैं एनिमल किंगडम पढ़ रही थी, इट वाज लाइक इन 12th, ठीक है, और मैं समरी पढ़ रही थी और उसमें लिखा था कि जो अपने साइक्लोस्टोमेट्स है वो सबसे प्रिमिटिव कॉर्डेट्स होते हैं, विच आई थॉट वाज ट्यूनिकेटा, राइट, बिकॉज लाइक द प्रोटोकॉर्डेट्स आई थॉट, बट देन आई सॉ कि साइक्लोस्टोमेटा आर द मोस्ट प्रिमिटिव कॉर्डेट्स एंड आई वाज जेन्युइनली वेरी शॉक्ड। सो आई वुड डेफिनेटली रिकमेंड कि रीड योर समरी ऑल्सो, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ऐसे कुछ पॉइंट्स होते हैं जो कि समरी में लिखे होते हैं जो कि टेक्स्ट में ना लिखे हों, सो डोंट टेक द चांस, राइट, रीड योर समरी, इट विल डेफिनेटली, मतलब मैक्स टू मैक्स 5 मिनट लगेंगे यार पढ़ने में, एक बार पढ़ लो एंड जो भी आपको इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स लगते हैं ना उसको हाईलाइट कर लो। फिर नेक्स्ट बार जब आप चैप्टर को पढ़ोगे तो आप सिर्फ उन हाईलाइट पॉइंट्स को पढ़ना, समरी के, पूरी समरी मत पढ़ना, राइट, जस्ट वंस यू हैव टू गो थ्रू द समरी, इट विल बी हेल्पफुल, ट्रस्ट मी, ठीक है। बिकॉज एक और था, मुझे याद है वो जो सर्कुलेशन वाला चैप्टर है, राइट, उसमें समरी में जो स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम है उसको बीट वॉल्यूम भी लिखा है। सो दैट में दे मे आस्क यू, राइट, स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम इज ऑल्सो रेफर टू एज व्हाट, बीट वॉल्यूम, ठीक है, तो वो भी समरी में लिखा था। सो बेसिकली या आई वुड डू दैट, ठीक है। एंड या दैट्स ऑल आई गेस फॉर रिविजन। प्रायोरिटाइज योर एनसीईआरटी, डोंट गिव अप ऑन एनसीईआरटी, एंड या एंड हाँ, ऑल्सो एक और चीज़ कि जब भी आप एनसीईआरटी पढ़ रहे हो, राइट, एंड आपको लगता है कि ये दो स्टेटमेंट्स हैं जो कि कनेक्टेड हैं, जो कि एक दूसरे के एक्सप्लेनेशन बन सकते हैं, जो एसोसिएशन रीजन वाले क्वेश्चंस में आ सकते हैं, राइट, तो आप वहीं पे जो है बिकॉज लिख दिया करो या फिर सिंस लिख दिया करो, ताकि एवरी टाइम यू रीड द चैप्टर यू सी दैट बिकॉज एंड यू बी लाइक अच्छा ये दोनों मतलब एसोसिएशन रीजन बन सकते हैं। जैसे मतलब वो वर्टिब्रेट्स और कॉर्डेट्स वाला जो पार्ट था उसमें बिकॉज लिख दिया था मैंने, क्योंकि मुझे लगा था कि अच्छा अब ये एसोसिएशन रीजन बन सकता है, ठीक है। तो बेसिकली इफ यू सी दैट वन सेंटेंस इज द एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ अनदर सेंटेंस, देन जस्ट राइट बिकॉज ओवर देयर, ताकि जब आप नेक्स्ट बार पढ़ो चैप्टर तो आपको दिख जाए कि अच्छा हाँ इससे एसोसिएशन रीजन बन सकता है, राइट। तो बेसिकली फिर आपको दिक्कत नहीं होगी कि करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है, रॉन्ग एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है, उसमें ट्रिकी हो जाता है थोड़ा, ठीक है। So yeah, that's all that I had to say for bio. I tried to keep it short, but I promise I'll make a separate video for all the three subjects, and I'll try to keep it very short because I understand some of you may not have the time to watch the entire video, and I completely understand that. So yeah, that's all. Do let me know how you liked it, and any future video recommendations also would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, bye bye. See you.